can't deal with the KitchenAid thing.
I got buddies that have that one.
2.5 horsepower.
They're not
I think the pork adds more flavor.
got it.
And then just mix it with the really fatty burger, because duck itself is super lean. And like I said, for this purpose, we're not trimming any fat off. We want all that fat. It's a coarse grind. You could probably cook it just like that, but we'll run it through a fine plate. I've shot anywhere from your common, your mallard, your widgeon, teal. I've shot all 3 species of teal. I've just never shot a really good drake of the bluing and the cinnamon, but I've shot ones that are fairly plumed. My best one that I'm the most proud of is my black duck. Shot a black duck here in Western Washington, which is really rare. I only know of like 4 or 5 that have been shot. Most recently, we started seeing a population of blue geese that have started to show themselves here. I mean, when I was growing up, I never saw a blue goose around here. I think I saw one when I was a teenager, and it was just, I was so shocked. But now they're actually pretty common. I mean, it was a thing a couple years ago when I first spotted one on one of the properties. There was 9 of them in this flock of like 10,000 snows. And so we started targeting them, and Colleen actually shot the first one that I'd ever seen, ever physically saw a blue goose, because I've never gone and hunted the Midwest flyway or any of that stuff. So, and they're really prevalent. But here, they're not. And now they're getting to be more and more common. But I mean, still, it's like probably 1 in 1,000 snow geese is a blue goose. And maybe, you know, I'm not a biologist, but it's not a lot. But it's more common that you actually see them. I've shot a fair amount of Euros. That's one that, you know, people talk about as being a real big trophy, and those things, I'm pretty good at sniping those things. I've probably shot 40 or 50 of those in my life. I've got a couple blondes. Blonde mallards. I've shot every diver that you can shoot here. The only ones I haven't shot is like I said, eiders. I've seen 1 eider in my year of sea duck hunting. Saw that up at Blaine. Never got a shot on it, but I've shot everything but tree ducks, eiders, swan, crane. I mean, I've got them all right here in Pacific Northwest. It's pretty cool. You just don't see that anywhere else. Any other flyway, you don't get that kind of stuff. Can one of you guys come up? I got all the decoys. We could get it in one go if you guys come up. And then some Avian X mallards for floaters. I got 2 dozen mallard full bodies, 3 dozen widgeon.
How many extra blue scooters did you bring?
There's only 1 blue scooter.
Yeah.
So we've hunted this property a handful of times before, and it's been kind of slow, but we've been scouting it pretty hard the last couple of weeks, and this pond behind us has just been loaded with hundreds and hundreds of ducks. So we've let it rest for the last few weeks, and I think we're having an awesome shoot this morning.
The wind's going, is blowing from our back, kind of across into the pond. So we're trying to get all of our decoys upwind of us. That way the birds present the best shot right in front of our blind. So we're just gonna do a big hook and try to create a wall in this shallow sheetwater pond and get it so that they have a stopper right there. So all of the guns can actually get a good shot. Okay, if this group comes in, we gotta get them tight.
So like as we carry on like through the later half of the season, obviously the birds are gonna get smart, you know, like that's when your hide really matters, like your weather really matters, stuff like that. You know, when it comes down to it, everyone always wants to know like, oh yeah, I need to put out way more decoys, or I need to call more, or whatever it is. And in my opinion, the bottom line that matters is you have to have good weather. You have to have cold snaps, you have to have wind, and you have to have a good blind. Like as long as they don't see you and you're calling, I prefer softer approach. Like as the season progresses and stuff, almost it's like you pull that pull string and you're just giving them enough to keep them interested and stuff. And half the time that does the majority of the work for you. That's what I notice, like for the most part.
Yes, sir. Nicely done, Bob. Thank you, sir. Well, that was a fun one, huh? I've never seen them like that in your face. That was cool.
Those are greater whites. Single.
You know, when you're younger, a lot of times trigger time and the pursuit of a limit is really important. You know, you're kind of trying to prove you're probably as good and you've mastered the art. But after you get older and you've done it as many years as I have, the killing's not as big a thing. It's, you know, the time in the blind,
like back in the day when you were little,
hunting with Nathan and now my grandson Carson and that, you know, watching both of them come up and that, you know, both of them are crack shots and put Grandpa to shame now, you know. And, you know, at advancing age, you're not as quick as you used to. I remember when you could kneel on one knee in a blind and that. I'm way past that. If I go to one knee, it's like, better be two other guys to help me get up and that, because you just can't do what you did. So now you set up your shot a little more and, you know, but like I hunted Saturday, the same day you guys had the big shoot on another piece of property, and I killed 4, but I passed on easily that many drakes that it's like I just didn't pull the trigger. You know, if they got to the water before I got up on them, they get a free pass.